This is the Jeep Avenger, the brand's first ever electric vehicle, and I'm going to tell you 5 things you need to know about it. Let's start with the important stuff, price and specs. There are 3 trim grades in the 2024 Jeep Avenger lineup, and prices start from $50,000. All come powered by the same 115 kilowatt electric motor that's mounted between the front wheels, while a 54 kilowatt hour battery is said to deliver around 400 kilometers of electric driving range. Meanwhile, when it comes time to juice up, 100 kilowatt DC charging will see this go from 20 to 80% in a claimed 25 minutes. Inside, there's a notable absence of the kind of switches and dials that you'd normally find in a 4x4 Jeep. I'm talking things like low range gear selection and diff locks. That's because this is a front wheel drive EV and it's not meant to go off-road. That said, this car does debut Jeep's Select Terrain drive modes, which offer drive modes specific for sand, mud and snow. Elsewhere, the cabin is ultra modern. There's no traditional gear selector. Instead, you've got buttons just up here. And then you've also got a climate control panel, which makes dealing with the climate control settings nice and easy on the move. That said, we have noticed that there's a fair bit of fiddling around to put things like seat heating on and sometimes adjust some of the aircon settings because you've got to press the button and then go through the touchscreen. There's also loads of storage options. There's a big bin up here with a wireless phone charging pad, and then you've got your cup holders down here. But we noticed with our coffees this morning, it was quite difficult to grab your coffee out because it's quite a narrow reach down in here. This center bin is also quite small, but you get a lidded bin there. And then this glove box, oh, I should also mention this big shelf, which is pretty handy, but stuff will go sliding around if you drive erratically. This glove box, what's with that? It's like, it's got these 2 sections, so you can't fit your user manual in there. That's a bit strange. Put some kids back here and they'll have to fight over the single USB-C port, and they'll probably work up a sweat while doing so because there are no air vents back here, which is a bit of a miss. There's no center armrest either and no pockets in the doors, but you do get map pockets. As for tow room, there's not a huge amount. You can't really put your toes under the seat in front. Legroom is okay at the moment, but that's set up for a smaller person in the front. So if you've got taller people in the driver and passenger seat, you're not going to have much leg space back here. And headroom, that's pretty good, but I probably wouldn't sit 3 adults here. Okay, I said it's not built to go off-road, but looking at it, you wouldn't really know that. The Avenger comes with 200 mils of ground clearance and decent departure and approach angles. So you could tackle some light off-roading or even mount a curb if you need to. There's loads of plastic black trim around the bottom edges of the car, and then of course the 7-slot Jeep grille. It wouldn't be a Jeep without one, but here it's enclosed because obviously it's an electric car. Then I need to point out all the Easter eggs. There's one just down here and plenty more. We're finally behind the wheel of Jeep's first electric vehicle, and because we're on the local launch up in northern New South Wales, it inevitably means not a whole lot of seat time. But I can give you my first initial impressions of this little EV, and I'll start with the indicator. I don't know if you can hear this because it's obviously raining quite profusely, but it's a drum beat. Now, I don't know, it's not too annoying at the moment, but I feel like I don't know how I'd go living with that. Now, of course, being an EV, it's pretty quiet in here, but depending on the road surface you're on, I have noticed a fair bit of road noise inside this car. Another thing I've struggled to sort of come to terms with or get used to is the brake pedal. It sits a bit higher than the accelerator pedal, so it can be difficult to sort of quickly go between the two. But the other thing is there's so much travel in the brake pedal that you press it and nothing happens. Like I'm pressing it now, I'm not really slowing down that much. And then you press it harder and then you've got brakes. So I don't really like how spongy and soft it is. And it just feels like there's a bit too much travel. You do have 1 level of regen braking, and you do that by pressing the drive select button and it goes to like a battery mode. So you get 1 level of regen braking that you can use, but it's not a 1 pedal driving system. It's just a light regenerative braking feel. The turning circle in this thing is great, and it feels like a really nimble, easily maneuverable little SUV that would make a really good city car companion. In terms of acceleration, it's smooth, but it's not overly urgent, and it's not, I guess it feels zippy at lower speeds, and that's what you want, but out on the open road, it doesn't feel super I guess urgent in its power delivery. Unless you've got it in sport mode, it feels a bit more responsive then, and that's where you get maximum power as well. If you're driving around in normal or eco drive modes, it kind of tones back you don't get the full power delivery, just to save that battery range as well. Looks are subjective, but if you ask me, the Avenger is adorable. It's a high-riding baby SUV that's perfectly capable of tackling the city and suburbs, as well as the open road. And according to Jeep, it's pretty handy off-road too. But that's something we'll have to put to the test later on, because unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today. Thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoyed this brief taste of Jeep's first electric vehicle. Let us know what you think in the comments. Would you buy an electric Jeep that can't really go off-road? Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to the Car Sales YouTube channel. See you next time.